Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Powers of X, issue number 2. I don't know how I cannot do anything but a spoiler review at this point. Everything in this book, just yeah. I'm not gonna go like deep and just start going page for page and giving you everything that's in here. No, but some of the major points, I am going to talk about that. So let's see if we get to an understanding of what's happening here. Talk about who made this brilliant book to begin with. Jonathan Hickman, writer. R.B. Silva, artist. R.B. Silva and Adriano Benedetto, on inks. Marty Gracia on colors and letters. VC's Clayton Cowles. Tom Mueller does the design, and R.B. Silva and Marty Gracia does the cover art. Whole bunch of awesome variant covers in here because they're all freaking awesome, just saying. Also, I might have gotten a variant cover of my own right over here, baby. Look at that one. Oh God, how do you go wrong with Havoc? Now, unfortunately, Havoc's not actually in this book, so, but it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. So we are together now, you and I. That's the name of this issue. Here, let's just get right into this because this is always fun. All the way in the back of the book, it tells us that the next issue is going to be called "This Is What You Do." I already deciphered that one for you on the previous issue. The following issue over in House, once more onto the breach. Now, what's special about this? It gives us the CH character, which I've got right down here at the bottom. CH, this one. Okay, the cipher, man. The cipher, baby. It's all coming to fruition. We understanding everything pretty soon. So look, check this out. This book's deep. And since you guys voted for this one to be the first book that I review, unfortunately Marvel isn't doing the preview pages for this, so I'm showing you straight out the book. Basically, Xavier and Moira go up to Magneto. It's like, hey, listen, bud, take off your helmet. Let me show you everything that's in her mind. And suddenly you come to the, oh crap moment that I came to. She's already tried to make me win. Didn't work. She's already tried to make you win. Doesn't work. Go and see my previous review for this. The House of X issue 2. This is Powers of X issue 2. All right, go check out House of X issue 2 to understand the many lives of Moira X. Yeah, wow. So, eventually, of course, we're going to see that she's going to wind up going to Apocalypse also and being like, hey, Ensabanor, guess what? Open your mind. Open your mind. Like, what's his name? Watto? Whatever the thing is from the original Total Recall movie. Anyway, so yeah, all this crazy stuff is happening. And now these two are kind of on a united front. Well, that's good. That's really good. And we get to see that 10 years later, mind you, that's at X0. Now, this, I guess this could be technically like, so it's year 1. Technically it would be year 0, but whatever. So X with the 0 for the exponent. That just means we're at regular, this is the beginning of the X-Men, like right around that beginning, that first year of the X-Men existing. 10 years later is X1, to the power of 1. So, interesting. That's the 10 years later thing. That's pretty much the current Earth 616 thing that's going on right now. And that's where we're at in this part of the book, where it turns out that mother mold is a big deal. Basically a master mold that makes other master molds. This is about, 10 light years away, did they say it is? This is like really freaking far away. Okay, it's really freaking far away. Blah, 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 blah. I don't remember where the heck they said it was. Anyways, it's, yeah, like I said, it's really freaking far away. And this damn thing, it's going to mess people up. So, yeah. Professor X, this new version, because mind you, we have the regular Professor X, and then we have this version of Professor X, which I guess is, but I don't know yet. We don't know yet. This is, I imagine, the Phantom X and Professor X version of X with the little portable Cerebro up there, and he's got telekinesis, as well as his telepathy. And Magneto's hanging out with them. So these guys have been working together, and this is a really great Scott moment. Because they're telling Scott, listen, this is where we think that Nimrod is formed. Now, mind you, what happens when you get Master Mold and Nimrod joined together? You get Bastion. So Nimrod by himself is, wow, hello. Master mold by itself is, oh crap, are you serious? A mother mold is, dude, you're freaking crapping me right now, right? Bastion showing up also is like, if we can prevent that, even if we can just prevent Nimrod, we can win. But this thing is tens of thousands of miles away, out in space. It's freaking far. And Professor X and Magneto are saying, Scott, we need you to go and take care of this thing. So which means that he's got to lead a team. It's like, and mind you, this is an asteroid kept secret from us forever, perfectly designed to repel mutants, and we need you to make a full frontal assault. Wow. This is the moment where Cyclops just sits back. He thinks about it for a second. He doesn't just jump right into this because he's not an idiot. He thinks about it. That's the ... He makes the resolution in his mind. This is like Captain America in the Infinity Gauntlet, issue number 3 or 4, whatever that was, where he walks right up to Thanos and he's like, you know what? As long as there's still one strong man in front of you, like you can't win. You haven't won. And he knows that he can't win, but he goes up there anyway. This is kind of one of those moments right there. He knows this is a suicide mission. And what does he say? Does it need to get done? Yes. Then it'll get done. And suddenly I need a new pair of shorts. Wow. Wow. The next part is X2, which is year 1, X to the power of 2, which is going to be the 100 years in the future thing. We don't know if this is Wolverine proper. It seems to be Wolverine proper. He should be able to live that long, right? But then we've got these other 2 versions here. They've already lost 2 characters. We don't know exactly what is going on with this mission, but we do know there's some crazy caca going on. And some way, somehow, Apocalypse is involved. Like I said, at some point they're going to have to explain to Apocalypse what's going on. Hopefully he'll decide to join. We did see that he does seem to join. Everybody's like, what could possibly make Apocalypse? Now we know. So then we're going to get, we're actually in the exact same time period where Nimrod is already formed, so not too much further in the future. And yeah, we're screwed. Humans are already not doing good. We've already shown the cybernetic infatuation that humans need in order to continue surviving. The regular species is dead for the most part of humans. They have to go to the next level. We're going to get into that in a hot minute because I love Hickman's infatuation with science. That is hot to trot, baby. They're all over the place, including asteroid K. And then at some point we get to see, well, first off we start talking about the difference between the Nimbus and the Nimaru in here. This right now is not the most important thing in the world. It's just showing you placement and orbital rotation, which is important enough. It's important enough. But then we see X3. That's the X-Men in the 1,000 years in the future. Remember, this is Nimrod the Greater. The regular pink Nimrod that we see is Nimrod the Lesser. That could only ever be named in the future, by the way. So we get to see these guys, and they're trying to form a world mind. Excellent. But they want it being intercepted by a phalanx. The phalanx comes along and says, oh, that's a cute little world mind you were trying to form. It was very tasty. Now what do you want? It's like, damn, all that stuff that we were trying to do. Maybe that was made just for a sacrifice. Maybe they knew that was going to happen. Maybe they were able to predict what's going on. And they said, we want ascension. We want to be better. That is a really messed up, scary freaking thing. So now we're going to start learning about the types of societies. This is basically where we're going to get into, what do you call it? The Kardashev scale. Okay. I think it's Alexandre Kardashev. He is a guy that in 1962, way back then, 1962, he developed what the societies actually could be. This is a physics model. It was established then, and for the most part, scientists don't have any reason to disagree with this. It's not a factual thing. It's looking at what we'll need, how we'll need to understand societies. A level 1 civilization in the Kardashev scale is one that will allow humans to siphon the energy of a star. So basically, everything that we use, solar panels, you know what I'm saying, or better than solar panels at some point, but it needs to start with solar panels. Civilization 2, level 2, this would actually be not just harnessing the energy of a star, harnessing every single part of the star. This would essentially be making a Dyson sphere, as an example. What do you call it? This is interesting, okay? Level 3 would actually be harnessing the power of an entire galaxy. Guys, however I'm explaining it, please go and check Michio Kaku, okay? Michio Kaku, Michio Kaku, I believe. He's the head of the physics department in CUNY. What do you call it? That's the University of New York. What do you call it? He explains it better than I could ever explain it. You know what I'm saying? I've got 2 physics classes, which would, I guess, be AP considered, because they were actually in university. And this guy explains it better than anybody I've ever seen before. Yes, anybody alive today. Yes, that includes Neil deGrasse Tyson. Anyway, wow. So a level 3 is where you would actually get cybernetic beings, where we realize that as humans, we've come about as far as we're going to evolve, which is further than we are now. But we're going to need cybernetic assists in order to do that. This is where we start getting into sci-fi to understand things that he didn't bank on, which would be like a Civilization 4, which is where, dude, we can actually go to different universes and harness the power of an entire universe. Basically, from Civilization level 3 and on, you're guaranteed that there is no way that we could cease to exist as a species. We would be different. We would have to be different. We would have to do forced evolution at this point, like hence the cybernetics. But there is nothing that we know of, nothing that we can imagine, possibly fathom, that could ever wipe us out, aside from another level 3 or higher species that, what do you call it? We could technically, get into war with and be destroyed, which is kind of what seems to be potentially happening here. Possibly. Excuse me, but level 4, I mean, we could exist inside of a supermassive black hole. I know, it sounds like there's no way, but if you're able to harness everything in a universe, it would include a supermassive black hole. All of a sudden, there's a really cool song in the back of your head, right? No, not with vampires playing baseball, because that would be stupid. Sorry if you're insulted by that, Twilight fans. So we actually start talking about what they mean here. Oh, by the way, you might ask, what level are we now? We're level 1, right? No, we're still a level 0. That's right, we don't even fit onto the Kardashev scale. Why? Because we're still wholly dependent on fossil fuels. Yeah, just a couple of solar panels, by comparison, isn't going to help anything. If anything still runs on fossil fuels, if we still need to use fossil fuels, like, hey, if all the fossil fuels just disappeared right now, what would happen to our society? We would all cease to exist. We would die. We would all die. No, all of us. Because that means even going off into the woods, there would be no woods. We can't start a fire even by rubbing 2 sticks together, as the saying goes, the idiom goes. We would cease to exist. But if we're actually smart, we start playing our cards right. And yes, the idea of these kinds of civilizations by Kardashev, they were actually created based on his understanding, which is a solid understanding, not a strong, no, a solid understanding of climate change, which was actually started back in the 50s. Yes, we've been able to prove since, 1956, 1958, something like that climate change is a real thing. Yes, so anybody who wants to say, oh no, we knew it since the 50s, and if you don't believe it right now, you're kind of dumber than your grandparents. You can cry if you want. We're all going to die if we don't figure it out at some point. We've been warned against it forever. It's lying politicians who do otherwise. Sorry if you don't like that either. Deal with it. That's me. That's Comic Book University. Subscribe button is right down there. Works both ways. But the way that it's explained in here, with this fantastical element, wow. So let's look at this. We've got the SI is not Sports Illustrated in this particular case. It's species intelligence. So species intelligence 1 would be machine, individualized machine. So I'm presuming this would have to start at a level 3 civilization or higher. Species, what do you call it? Species intelligence 10 would be a hive mind. So we're talking 10 or more of these machines. What do you call it? SI 1000 or to 10,000, anywhere in between that range, would be an intelligence, which seems to be where these humans are at now, these thinking machines and whatnot. That seems to be where they are at here at the X3 level. SI 10,000 or more would be a technarch. What is a technarch? Hold for it. SI 100,000 would be a world mind. Ah, interesting. So they were trying to evolve from an SI 100 to 10,000, an intelligence, up to a world mind. They were trying to skip one. That's feasible. That's feasible. Of course, the only way that they would do that is if there were inherent flaws in the system. They wouldn't be able to do it perfectly, which they probably expected that to be the case because they already had an answer for the phalanx. What's a phalanx? A phalanx. Well, that's a SI of 1 million or higher. So a phalanx shows up and says, what do you want? Anyway, they have the ability to repurpose world minds or anything they want with a techno-organic virus. Yes, self-friend, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, I've got the figure right here behind Thanos and the Ultimate Green Goblin, which we're going to see again in Miles Morales' Spider-Man issue number 10, mind you. So, yeah, we got Warlock. And he's able to create, oh God, here we go, a technarch. The technarch, back here to SI 10,000, which is what they weren't, but they were looking to become, obviously, and they do. They become a technarch. This is, you just have to read this. And please understand the most important thing here. Technarchs do not know that they were manufactured to serve the phalanx cause. Uh-oh. We already see the flaw in the system of them not trying to do the technarch level by themselves. Anyway, excuse me, each technarch believes it is the only technarch in existence, and technarchs are invisible to other technarchs. Oh God, what the hell are you doing to us, Hickman? This is insane. This is insane. This, like, literally, this is next level, higher up. We got to put this guy in the realms right now of Asimov and things like that. And people like that, Frank Herbert, which I've been imagining that all of this sounds so much like Dune. This, by the way, Frank Herbert is the first true scientist to create science fiction. All right, people later on like Asimov and whatnot came along afterwards, not too long afterwards, but nonetheless, you get the gist. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy, but crazy good, guys. Do not miss out on these. We are creating a whole new something or another here. We're going to have to make the Hickman verse at some point because wow. This is fantasy done right. This is change done right. Wow. And hopefully this gets a lot more people into science because, yeah, crucial. Very crucial. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.